Thank you so much, Rhiannon, for being with us today and on this Wisdom Wednesdays video series that I'm doing for the Impact community.
My
Um,
pleasure.
I will start kind of by how we met and how I know Rhiannon. I decided to go for my CMB, my Certified Mortgage Banker designation 2 years ago, a year and a half ago. Time has flown by. And Rhiannon was recommended to me by someone in the industry. And so that's how we got to know each other is I reached out to see if she would be my sponsor. Rhiannon, being the amazing woman that she is, agreed. And she has been an incredible source of knowledge through this entire CMB experience. And once I got it last year, we wanted to continue this friendship and this partnership in the industry. And she became my formal slash informal mentor of the industry and has been, again, extremely helpful just to bounce things off of. And we're both kind of in the same line of work a little bit. We're both in the executive sales type of industry and
Great.
what we do. And so, Rhiannon, yeah, if you would like to kind of introduce yourself and how you got to where you are.
So thanks for having me. So to your point, I've been in the industry for close to 24 years or so. I've spent, time in varying different parts of the industry, capital markets, technology, credit risk throughout my career, but most of it has been in, business to business, sort of enterprise or executive level type of sales. So you're right, we have kind of similar roles, and I've covered, various parts of the country and various, lenders over my career and have developed relationships and a network of folks that I know. And that's all been pretty critical to, where I think that I've been able to create some success for myself in my career. So yeah, we do have very similar roles. So our relationship has gone from there because we can share our stories.
Yeah, and it's been great to have you as my mentor. I know I've spoken a lot on how mentorships don't necessarily have to be this formal contractual agreement. It really morphs out of the relationships that you build throughout your time in the industry. I know you're extremely passionate about giving back to the industry. Do you want to expand a little bit more on that?
Yeah, I mean, I actually don't think I would have been able to have some of the types of roles that I've had throughout my career, honestly, without being involved in the industry. And I've been involved in industry associations literally since I started in a sales role. Probably, that was probably 20 years ago or so. I originally started out in operations, but then moved into sales. And throughout that time, it's just been about building a network, interacting with people in our industry, just getting to know how the industry itself ticks and what's happening, what are the trends, what are the challenges, and just over time have kind of broadened my network. I always say that in any role that I come to, the relationships that I bring are kind of my currency to that role. Because I, have a lot of folks that I interact with that I spent time with over the years that I know, and I know that they trust me and can have, good conversations around what they have going on in their business, what their challenges are, and then how, inevitably I can help support them. For me, it's always been super critical that, I can bring, some value to anybody that I'm interacting with in some way. And to your point, that also has to do with through my involvement in the industry, giving back. So meeting folks like yourself, I'm very passionate about women's, career progression, growth, providing whatever kind of support and encouragement I can to young women that are coming into our industry. And I can do that through the involvement that I've had, whether it's at, kind of the city level, the state level, or at the national level with the MBA. So that's always been very critical to, I think, my success in my career. And I would encourage, anybody that's in that type of role, especially where, you're out talking to customers and lenders and partners in the industry, that, you do what you can to get to know them and build that network and give back at some point when you can.
Absolutely. I love that. I know that part of me taking on this role to lead impact on the residential side, I really want to create that space for the young professional to be able to start building that network and building those connections and relationships, because like you said, they're so crucial to getting to that next step in the industry. And once you get up a few steps, really taking a look back and seeing, how did I get here and how can I give back? I think that's great.
Absolutely. Yeah.
A little bit more on the mentor side. As a mentee, I know that there's been some times where I have felt hesitant to reach out to someone or approach them as a mentor, because sometimes it can be, I feel, or I felt like it could be a one-sided relationship. Like I'm reaching out to them, asking them to take out time of their really busy day to help me with something. But as a mentor, what can the mentors also get out of that, and have that relationship?
So I think there's a couple of things there, and you're right. Sometimes, if you can be involved in what might be considered a mentor-mentee type of relationship, and you're maybe not getting out of it what you hoped you would get or what you sought to get when you kind of embarked on that journey. I think the mentor-mentee relationship, because it's relatively informal, it's not like a coaching engagement where you're interacting with someone that potentially you're paying a fee to, and they're giving you concrete advice, they're helping you build a plan, whatever that might be. This is more of someone that you're engaging with, that you see in the industry, that has potential to impart some kind of wisdom or advice in some way, and potentially it goes the other way as well. So it's not always that as a mentee, if you reach out to a mentor and say, I'd like to partner with you in this way, that only the mentor can impart the wisdom. The mentee can impart it back the other way as well. But I do think it's really critical in that relationship to set clear expectations. As a mentee, what is it that you desire to get out of the relationship with a potential mentor, right? See, I do think it's important that you always come to that relationship saying, okay, here is what I want to do now, or in a couple years from now, in my career or in life. We've had conversations around being a new mom, and how you navigate working and going back to work as a new mom, and those sorts of things. So it can be all over the map, right? But I do think as a mentee seeking that relationship, it's important to tell the mentor, here's what I was hoping to gain from this, right? And I think that's, like, to your point, a wonderful compliment. Anyone would, I think, find it complimentary that someone's reaching out saying, hey, I've identified you as someone that I think I can actually gain something from, and would you be willing to engage in that kind of a partnership with me, right? Doesn't always mean that they have the capacity. Sometimes people just can't do it, or they're maybe they're not comfortable. But I also think that I think more people than maybe you would think would be complimented by that and would be willing to do it, because they realize that potentially they could help someone. So I would encourage potential young mentees seeking that relationship to just ask, and all they can say is yes or no, right? So I think you'll find that more often than not, someone will probably say yes.
Yeah, I love that. And I love how you brought in that or you've helped me through some mom stuff and going back to work. And I love that the relationship sometimes can really be getting to know each other on a personal level. And I think it really makes a partnership like that and a relationship really successful when you get to know them on a personal level, not just surface level or just at work. And you start to really dig deeper. You really get to know somebody and figure out where they want to go, and you can start to have those conversations and build upon that relationship. I love that.
Absolutely.
That's great. Well, is there anything else that you have as to impart your wisdom on the impact community?
I think I would just say, we've talked about it throughout this time, but mentor-mentee relationships are really critical. I think that mentors and mentees alike should seek those out when they can, throughout their career. And you can have a number of different mentors, and you can be a mentee to a number of different people throughout your career. And so, seeking kind of that kind of relationship where you can, if you as a mentee find that there could be value that someone could bring to you, I would say go for it. In this industry, it's very relationship driven. So the more that you can engage with others, learn about what they have going on in their careers and their life, and having kind of gaining a broad understanding of our industry through that network, I think will be critical for anyone's career. So if you're young coming into this industry, leverage your network, expand your network, get out and learn things, get out and get a good understanding of the industry. Go get your CMB. That'll give you, as you know, a much broader understanding of the industry than maybe you would otherwise have. So just learn, be a sponge, interact with people, ask good questions, and learn from that. So that's what I'd say.
I love that. Thank you, Rhiannon, so much. I think we've learned a lot of successful things on how to ask for that mentorship and ask for that partnership and build your relationships. And that's part of the impact community, is really making the space for the young professionals to build those relationships. So I appreciate your time so much. And thank you so much for hopping on here today.
My pleasure.